Sup peeps, my name's Ian, I sell books on eBay, and apparently yesterday somebody at eBay turned off the power and forgot to turn it on again until 7:15 last night. It was really, it's been a slow week. Something's not working right. I know they've got some big update coming with advanced listings in about a week's time, so I don't know if there's things messing about with that. Whatever it is, not a single sale all day yesterday until 7:15 last night, which doesn't happen. Even on Christmas Day, I got a sale earlier in the day than that. So something was off. But as ever, I'm going to assume that there's something I can do to fix that and improve my sales, my sell-through rate, value of sales, all of these things. So yes, there will always be issues with any platform you're using online because it's technical. It's computers. Anyone who's ever worked anywhere near IT, and I spent years managing IT projects and various things, you know how complicated things can be and that things can go wrong. So yeah, there's always going to be issues, but got to make sure that when there aren't issues, that absolutely maximising what you can gain from the eBay platform, because regardless of these issues, it's still there's nothing out there that compares to it. You've got millions of potential buyers who can see your items. It's really easy to get stuff listed and put up there. I remember trying to do this back in like 2001, 2002, and it was torture. Me and a friend, guy who worked in a chocolate shop across from the watch shop where I worked, would go to the wee local cash and carry, pick 3 items each for just a couple of quid each, and then see who could get the most money for them. So that was putting them on at auction and having to do everything on a proper old PC and using a camera to take pictures, and no, I mean it was a different beast altogether. So remembering that and seeing how easy it is to do now, it's still a fantastic platform, but it does have issues, and if you're going to use it, you've got to accept the fact, like I am trying to do, that it will have issues which will impact on your sales. The flip side of that is sometimes you will be on the good side of the issues, and that has certainly happened to me in the odd day. Not as many days as it seems that I'm on the bad side, but you can have a good day of sales. And yesterday, like I say, not a single sale until 7:15 at night, but then I got a few in. I have not made an awful lot of money yesterday, but a couple of nice wee sales that will, that will keep things ticking over now. And what this always does is it makes me think about what I can do to improve on things the following day. So today I've only got 7 orders to get packed up and go out, and that will take me no time whatsoever, and then that leaves me a lot of spare time to go out and do a wee bit of sourcing, which was already on the schedule to do, because I'm looking for the last few items for Monday's sale. I'm at about £840 worth of eBay sale through value of stock at the moment, and it's not an awful lot of lots, so I want to get a few more bits and pieces to add to that, make some slightly bigger bundles, and hopefully anyone who comes along to that sale Monday at 7, it's Monday the 19th at 7 PM, a chance to get a few bargains. What else am I going to spend my day on? Well, I'll tell you about that in a moment, but let's look at some of these orders and give you an idea of what's going out on what was an atrociously bad day. So first, I haven't sold many of these in the last few days, but we have 10 Disney DVDs, so nothing to do with books, but 10 Disneys. They all come from one listing that's actually doing quite well now. They're priced at £2 each, but buy 5 get 5 free, so somebody's paid a £10 plus postage for those 10 DVDs, so £13.99. Cost me £1 to pick 10 up, so it's a good couple of quid profit in amongst that. Right, next, another little bundle. Oh, I'm knocking DVDs all over the place. Julia Donaldson, so 3 Julia Donaldson books. Beep. Snail and the Whale, Cave Baby, and the classic Gruffalo, and the 3 of them went for £9.89. So again, Julia Donaldson, I can't say it often enough, Julia sells well. I haven't found any other children's authors, it's an offer, isn't it? Authors who have that format, you know, the picture storybooks that sell anything like Julia Donaldson. Nobody else seems to do it. For me, I'm sure there'll be others out there, and if there are, please share them, because I would love to know. But yeah, still got a big stack of those. Keep bringing them in. £9.89 for 3 books, and that'll have cost me 75 pence to pick up. So, you know, again, I'm making maybe £1 a book on picking them up, which is a great return on the investment. And I get, they're very easy to store these as well, because they just stack in a big pile. You can imagine how many you can get in a fairly short pile. Right, another kiddies author, David Walliams. World's Children 2 and 3, both in paperback. So one of the things that I have decided to do to see how I can tweak the listings, etc., is change up a couple of my multis, a couple of my big variation listings, and David Walliams is one that I did that with last night. So usually I will have buy 3, get 2 free, and the books are all priced round about £3. So it might be £2.95, maybe £3.25, but roughly £3 a book. So if somebody buys 5 books, they're going to pay £9 plus £3.99 postage, and they get them for that. So it'd be £12.99 for 5 books. I also do buy 2, get 1 free. So at £3 each, you're going to pay £6 plus postage, which is £9.99, and you'll get 1 free. I also had an offer where it was, if you buy only 2, you get 10% off. So if you bought 2 books, £6, £5.40 because you're saving 60p, plus £3.99 postage. And obviously not many sell at the 2 rate. So, you know, £9 to £10 for 2 books, a tenner for 3 books, 12, 13 quid for 5 books. That's how the scale ran. But what I've gone in and done is David Walliams and a few others, a handful of other listings, because I want to kind of compare and contrast, a wee bit of an A/B test, is I changed it to just a couple of quid a book plus £3.99 postage. So if somebody buys 1 book, they're still going to pay like £5.99 for that 1 book, because there'll be postage included. I think £2.05 I put these up for. Yes, it was £2.05 each for David Walliams books, so that's down from like £3. So that's quite a significant decrease in price, but I've taken off the offers on those items. So it's no longer buy 3 get 2 free, buy 2 get 1 free, 10% savings, etc. All of that is gone. So it's just the listing on its own, and if you buy them, you pay the postage and you get the deal. So if somebody was to buy 5 David Walliams books, it would cost them £10.25 plus postage of £3.99, which is roughly the same as if they were buying it on the deal previously. So there's not a huge change in price at that end. It's actually makes me slightly more money, although I'm selling the books an awful lot cheaper, but it does open it up so that people can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, and still only pay that kind of couple of quid a book as it goes. So these 2 went for £4.10 plus postage, so £8.09 for the 2 books, and they went within an hour of that listing getting updated. So probably just coincidence that somebody was getting into it at that point, but it's something I'm going to keep an eye on and see how the sales compare to how they have done previously and against other listings that are still up and running as they stand. So yeah, quite glad that went out early, just to see if it does make any difference whatsoever. I've got a few more listings that I'm going to do that with today. Not many, just hopefully enough that there's a decent sample. You know, some of the authors that I sell quite regularly, I'll move a couple of them over, and some that don't sell as often, I'll move a couple of them over and see if it decreases sales in one or increases sales in the other. See what happens. I'll let you know. Another sale is, oh, we've got these in the wrong order. Celtic Football Club. The official story of 9 in a row, 2011 to 2020. I avoid the Old Firm at all costs, because it just ain't a healthy thing. But football fans will be football fans, and that is a beautiful book. What I say, it's a very nice book, really good condition, and that is heading out, funnily enough, to Glasgow. Yeah, so Celtic book sold for $15.99. So yeah, I've had that sitting for months. I picked up a wee stack of these quite a while ago, not just of this, a few other books around and about, and that's the first one I think to have sold from that lot, but it went for £12 plus postage, so that is a nice sale. $15.99 for the Celtic. Right, what else am I doing whilst I've got spare time today? So I'm always complaining, haven't I? Moan. Oh, I've got no storage space, I've got none of this. Right, confession time. I've got a garage, and I've got a shed, and I've got a loft. However, the loft is not good access, so I can't really use that for anything other than stuff that I don't want to see for the next 12 months. The shed is full of bikes. Kids, you know. So it's out of bounds. It's only a wee shed anyway. And the garage leaks. It just lets water in. There's nothing I can do about it other than re-roofing the entire thing, and that's just really not making any sense. Now, I've got a few bits and bobs just stored out there covered in tarps, and today I'm going to take a wee while and go out and see what I can shift about to clear up some space in the drier spots. And then I'm going to take some of these. Will I show you? Yeah? Yeah, some of these. I have pre-packed lots. Not many at the moment. I mean, only maybe, there's probably not even a dozen of these kind of pre-packed, pre-wrapped lots. And I've got a wee bit of space. Once I've got a wee bit of space out there, I'm going to be able to take quite a few of these and stack them up nicely and neatly and cover them with a tarp, just to make sure that if any drips do come in, they don't get to them. Any damp and cold that's out there shouldn't get through, because they're all quite tightly wrapped in the bubbles, and that will clear out a little bit of space. Once I've got that established, there will be room for quite a few more, which means I'm going to go through some of my listings and take out some books and make them into pre-made bundles, just because it means I can store them out in the garage, and hopefully that'll free up a fair bit of space and allow me more room to manoeuvre in everything else that I'm doing with selling books on eBay. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I've maybe got about 15 of those made up, 16 made up at the moment, that have been made up over the last weeks. I've got a few other bundles of books which are already listed as bundles, some of them on the shelves behind me there. I'll get them wrapped. I usually don't wrap stuff until it's time to go, because it just means I use up all my bubble wrap and it's sitting there for weeks or months, never getting used. The things don't sell, I have to take it off, waste of time and money. But for the sake of storage, I'm going to take a few of the ones that I've already got made as bundles, get them out into the garage as well, and let's say go through some of my other listings and take out probably hardcovers. So I've got a few really popular authors, but the hardcovers don't sell particularly well. They do move, but they move really slowly, so it's maybe those I'll take out, and I'll put 5, 6, 10, 12 of those together into bundles, pre-made bundles, and get them listed up and stick them out in the garage where it's reasonably easy to get to them, and they should be protected from the elements, no problem at all, with pre-wrapped. Throw the tarp over them and hope that it doesn't get really windy and blow the roof off. Yeah, that should be fine. Anyway, another sale. We've got Suzanne Collins, The Hunger Games. I always think Sean Connery should have had something to do with this movie, but he didn't. So, the name's Collins, Suzanne Collins, not double O. Shut up, Ian. Yes, The Hunger Games, Suzanne Collins. Usually this sells as the set, and I do have the 3 different books available at the moment, but no, it didn't. It sold on its own for £7.24. So somebody wanted that one, that's for sure. So that was quite a nice wee sale. Another nice wee sale, The Three Body Problem by Cixin Liu. I can't pronounce the name. Cixin Liu, translated by Ken. That's simple. The Three Body Problem, translated by Ken. So, part of a trilogy. I've sold books 2 and 3 in the trilogy not long ago. The Dark Forest and Death's End. And this is the first one. I bought this for myself, actually, I'll be honest. Ages ago, years ago, and I keep meaning to read it, keep meaning to read it, keep meaning to read it, and never quite get to it. So I thought, let's just shift it on. When I see another copy at some point, when I'm ready to read it, I'll pick it up and read it at that point. Still didn't pay a lot of money for it when I bought it, maybe £1, I can't remember. But anyway, it's now gone for £6 plus postage, so £9.99, which is the cover price almost, £8.99 cover price actually. So winner of the 2015 Hugo Award for Best Novel. It is meant to be absolutely brilliant. I'm sure did I watch a movie? I can't remember, but I watched a movie that ended up taking me to that book. So yeah, I've been waiting to read it, haven't got around to it. I can't see me reading it in the foreseeable future because I've got a stack of other things to get through. That makes it sound like a chore. I have a stack of other books to read. So that is now sold £9.99. One sale to go, but before we look at it, it's not a huge sale, it's not a big surprise, so you know, you're not going to miss out on much if you were to stop the video now. But a minute, everything's going a bit wonky here. Don't know what happened. Right, I think I need to clear some memory on the wee laptop thing. I was talking the other day about, you know, once I've used all my free listings through the month, I slow down on listing new items. But I've got 600 auction items, which somebody pointed out in the comments, because that's helpful. But that sounds sarcastic, it's not, it is. I always think about the auctions, I very rarely use them, but with the way sales have been this week, with that suggestion reminding me to think about them, and thinking about how I'm going to fix my storage problems, the three things kind of came together and knitted into an idea. So storage, I'm going to do something with the garage, because if I lot things up and pre-package them, then I'll be able to store them out there. So that fixes the storage problem, in that I've got the space and I just need to do things slightly differently. Improving sales, so each of those bundles is going to be worth more than a book on its own, so I can work that out to know that I'm going to make £5 a sale or £10 a sale or whatever that'll be, depending on the price of them. Running out of listings, so 600, I think I've got 598, because invariably when I'm listing books earlier in the month, I'll accidentally put one on at auction, then have to cancel it and go and put it in it, buy it now. But if I take some of those bigger stacks and stick them on at auction for the price I want, if it bids up from there, great, but put them on at the price I want with a buy it now price of the same. I'm not sure if I can do that, but I'll try and do that. Then that is how I can list the stuff that's going to go out into the garage. I'm pointing that way, it's actually that way, but that's beside the point. 600, if I ran each one for a couple of weeks and then moved it over to buy it now, that's not going to use up all of those auctions that I've got available to use in like the next 12 or 13 days, however many days are left in this month. 29 this month? Nice, so maybe 13 days. So I can put those auctions on and see how they go. You know, have maybe 5 to 10 of them finish in a day. So if they were all to sell, that would be very nice. If they don't sell, I've not lost anything. I've created the listing, I've got them stored somewhere convenient. If they don't sell on auction, once the free listings refresh themselves at the end of the month, I can move them over to buy it now, or scrub them entirely because the listing will already be created. So thank you everybody for all your comments and suggestions around these things. It's stuff that goes through my head, but sometimes it just takes people saying things at the right time and in the right order for the penny to drop and think, right, okay, those things brought together actually constitutes a plan. How successful it will be, I have no idea. I don't have high hopes for auction success, but it lets me keep things moving. And instead of having a big stack of books that haven't been processed at all because I can't put them up as single listings, then I can get them all dealt with and they're all processed, and all it means is down the line clicking relist and changing it to a buy it now, and that's it. So it's, yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Anyway, last order. Lucinda Riley. I haven't sold any of these for a wee while. Another author that goes in flurries, it would seem. Lucinda Riley, The Olive Tree, A Magical House, A Momentous Summer. Lucinda Riley's The Olive Tree. Yeah. Drama, romance, I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure somebody else does, and that's why they bought it, and that's why they want to read it. She's got a whole load of tree books as well as her sister series, but that sold for £7.44, so a nice wee sale on a single book. Right, so that's everything that sold for a massive total of £72.63. Hi, not bad, eh? Third to eBay, third in postage, maybe £22 profit out of that, and then we have cost of packaging, cost of the books, and any other, you know, cost to keep the lights on. All of these things still to come off of that. So really bad day in sales, but thankfully some did come through after that time, 7:15 last night. So that was like over a 12-hour period, those 7 sales, which is pretty shocking. We had the Celtic book went out at 11:15 last night, and then at 1:15 this morning the Hunger Games sold, and then at 7:15 the Three Body Problem, and then at 7:20 this morning the Lucinda Riley book went out. So 3 of those 7 have come today. So yesterday I actually only had 4 sales. That's abysmal. But hey, what can you do? Book haul break. Let's see what we just picked up. 3 big blue bags, the IKEA type, 30 quid spent. So let's just see if it's been a good buy or not. Right, let's have a start. So first up we have some hardcover, Tom Clancy. So that's just a kind of bread and butter, will go in the collection. Is it a first edition? It's in pretty knackered condition, but it is a first, so that's maybe going to be worth a couple of quid. Put it in the pile. Right, we've got a load of Mr. Davids. Obviously I have seen these because I just went and picked them up, but I don't really remember what I grabbed. So we've got a nice wee selection of David Walliams. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. One of them's an ex-library, so it's not in greatest nick, but still, you know, £1 profit on each of these books. So that works out nicely. We've got a little Roald Dahl, a little Famous 5 collection. These sell quite well actually, make a couple of quid on that one. Right, Lean Six Sigma pocket and tool book. Now I sat my phone somewhere so I could look a few of these up as we go along. Now this one is, some of these books are worth a little bit more. So we'll go into the eBay app, we'll scan the barcode. There you go, a £5. There's 85 listed for a £5, and sold, what have we got? 26 sold for about a £5, so it's going to be a wee bit of a long tail, but be a couple of quid in that one there. Next had that one in a bundle a couple of times and it sells okay. Oh, some more David Walliams, put them with him. And then we have some interesting books. So whenever I go out, I pick up a few bits and pieces like this just to see what they are worth. Now, this one here, Zoo Quest to Guyana by David Attenborough, I picked up a copy of this last week that was in much poorer condition, and it seems to sell anywhere, depending on the edition, from like a tenner up to £100 plus. So I saw this one and I've grabbed it. I have not looked yet to see what edition it is, but it's in very good condition. Reprint Society, so it's not a first. So it was 1956 original, this is a 1958 Reprint Society, so that could be worth 10-20 quid, maybe a wee bit more, but yeah, old David Attenborough books, first editions especially, seem to be worth a fair few quid, so look for them as you go. These little beasts, I have no idea, although this one has a menu in it from the Palace of Holyrood, 23rd of May 1908. Wow, look at that. No idea if that's going to be worth anything at all, but let's quickly, what's missing its back cover, let's have a quick look at that one and see if it is worth anything at all. So we have to do a proper search on this one. Guide to the Palace of Holyrood. Let's see what that comes up with. Right, okay, we've gone from 1937, that's up for 14 quid, 1931, £4, 13. A lot from the 30s, which are all a few quid. This one, I think, is older than the 30s. That menu suggests it's like early last century. I bet I can't even find a date on it. This is the challenge. You can spend a load of time looking these things up and then get absolutely nowhere. So I'm not seeing a date on it, but assuming it's 1908 because that's what the menu is, then that's maybe a tenner, maybe 20 quid. Like I say, the back cover missing will be an issue. Let's just see if we can find anything on this menu. Holyrood Palace menu 1908. Let's see if that comes up with anything. Menu. Right, there's a menu from 1908 for a French restaurant that's going for 40 quid. Yeah, that might be worth selling on its own. I think it's one to stick up as like an auction and see what happens. So I'll maybe put the two of them together as an auction, but have that as the main beastie and see where it goes. So that's quite interesting, and I'll stick that to the side so that I know to look at it. We've also got a couple of other quite interesting little books. So we've got a Rudyard Kipling from Undated, that's always helpful. Oh, it's got a wee inscription. Oh, sometimes it's quite handy, you get a date from where it's been talked about, but you know, nothing on that one, so I will look that one up later on and see if it's got any value to it. We also have an Adam Bede by George Eliot, obviously not a first edition because that would make it very old. A delightful edition of George Eliot's works. It's the Cabinet edition. Volume 1, Adam Bede, a new edition. Let's see if I can do a very quick find on that. Adam Bede. Cabinet edition. Let's see if anything comes up. Volumes 1 and Volume 2, 60 quid, 40 quid, 280, wow, for both volumes. Home Library Edition, Cabinet Edition, 1910. And then you've got to start looking at the spines to try and find what is similar. I'm thinking this is probably going to be like a £10 book, but it's always worth giving them a grab. If they've got a wee bit of inlay, then they can be worth looking up, something that's a little bit pretty. It looks like it's probably from about 1900s, and it's got a cutout Death of a Leith character. Interesting. Let's see if we can get a date off of this. 30 years. No, there's no date on that there. Let's see if there's any dates on the other side. This is where it all gets a wee bit interesting. Right, 6th of March. It's given me months but not years. We got evening at 6th of March. No, I'm going to have to do a wee bit more digging on that one, but definitely March. It's from March, but I'm guessing it's about 1900, but probably worth about a tenner, although maybe that wee snippet inside might give it a bit of extra as well. So that's something to do a bit more digging on. And then we have Other Men's Flowers, so a memorial edition, 30 shillings in the UK only. Again, I have no idea what this is, but when I see older books that look like they're in good condition, that might have a bit of interest to them, I will pick them up. 1968, so that's unlikely to be worth an awful lot, but I'll do some more searching on it later on just to be sure. Right, let's move on with some more bread and butter. I've got a couple of them, so I'm going to add that to that listing, so that'll be just bread and beer. Bread and butter. Bread and butter. I've got The Secret and The Power, so I'll add that to it and maybe turn them into a wee 3-book bundle. So we're getting the Secret bundle. Then I got a huge stack of Mills and Boons. So these can sell okay as bundles. That's a first pile. There's another pile as well. Though, let's see, they're all ex-library books. There's loads of them for 10, I'll maybe stack 20 up and get like 15 quid. And I've probably picked up 30 or 40 in total, so that'll be something to achieve from that lot. Some more for my multi-listings just to get added in, a bit of David Baldacci, a bit of Linwood Barclay. Let's put David Attenborough around there so I know where he is. More bread and butter, I've got a few copies of that, so it's just added to a multi-listing. 2 little box sets, so some horrible histories. Was it Vicious Vikings, Groovy Greeks and Frightful First World War, and a wee Peppa Pig bedtime library, complete in good condition. So these possibly go for like 3-4 quid each on those sets, so nothing crazy at all. However, God, there we a ton. We've got a wee stack here. Breather after lifting that lot. So, Man Watching. I've just noticed it looks like it's got some loose pages. That's a wee bit inappropriate. Clothing signals. Funnily enough, that's the page which is broken. I'm not going to bring it any more into focus, but it's a little bit rude, shall we say. So let's do a wee look up on that. Because it's damaged, it's probably unlikely to be worth anything. I didn't notice that when I picked it up. Man Watching. That's going to Man Eating. Man Watching. Let's see if it comes up with everything. Yeah, like 3 quid in normal pre-owned condition, so that's going to be a bit of a bust, that one, to be honest. Vogue. 100 Century of Style. Again, when I see nice big coffee table books, I'll pick them up because you just never know if they've held their value or not. It's not coming up with anything on the search, which is a bit surprising. Vogue 100. What have we got? See if I can see it. Vogue 1. Oh, that's quite nice. There's a couple listed for 25, 30 quid. Let's just see if any have actually sold. No, I'm not seeing any sales on that one. Oh, no, there's one, 15 quid. That's pre-owned. So yeah, that's maybe a £15 book. There's a couple listed for 25, 35. If I stick that up for 15 notes, then I might get quite a quick sale on it. We'll have to wait and see, but that's all right. Jack Vetriano, I've got one of these already. It's up for about 20 quid. It gets a bit of interest. I've sold one in the past. In fact, I've sold this one in the past, and I've got another one sitting, so that can go for about 20 quid there. So it's quite nice. I know that's worth something. Impressionist Gardens, has it got a barcode? It does, so let's have a look. Again, I mostly want to stick to just getting my bread and butter books, but I will see if there's anything that's got a bit more to it. £3.50, so nothing spectacular there at all. FCB Kebel, so it's another art book. They're all National Galleries books. This one's not picking up the barcode at all. No, doesn't seem to recognise that as a barcode, so I'll come back to that one. And then we get a big Dorian Kindersley DK, the Royal Horticultural Society Encyclopedia. Let's get the barcode and then I'll let you see it. So we've got that one there. Yeah, like a £5. So these are always a bit of a gamble. There's nothing much in them. I'll maybe keep them and bundle them up somewhere, but a few quid, nothing more. Right, next bag. Right, straight away I see a load more of these. So like I say, I got a lot of these Mills and Boons-esque books. So there's stacks of them in there, and I will just see if I can put them into a big bundle and get them all punted off in one go. They will go cheap, but they'll make me some money back. Right, some more bread and butter thrillers. Nothing crazy exciting in this lot, but they will sell. They will get added to my existing listing. We've got picked up 4 Vince Flynn books, all in really good condition, so I might just stick these up as a ready to go bundle, just because they're all, you know, brand new, like new I should say, because I got them from a second hand shop, so I can't claim they're new, but you know, like new books. So maybe get a tenner, 12 quid for the 4 of them as a bundle. These are all just for my bread and butter variation listings. Oh look, another David Williams. Right, we've got some Martina Cole. So again, I'm just in the process. I've been saying I'm going to do it for days. I'm putting together a Martina Cole listing. So I've got loads of paperbacks, I've got a couple of hardcovers, so I'll maybe decide what to do with them. We've got a wee Ford Fiesta Haynes book in really good condition. I've got a couple of Haynes to get listed. They're not worth an awful lot, so I've just been waiting to see if I can get enough to turn them into a bundle. Although that one seems to sell for, there's 3 listed, from £10 up to £30. There's 10 sold for around 15 quid. Yeah, so that will get listed on its own actually, so about £15 for that Haynes one. That's quite nice. And then we've got more paperbacks, so more John Grisham, a Kate Ellis. We've got 1, 2, oh, Andrew Gross. More, another John Grisham. A Val McDermott. Ooh, June, that one always sells well. 50th anniversary edition, so I'll keep that separate. So I've got a wee stack of George Martin there, and I've been missing A Feast for Crows in the medium-sized paperback just to complete my own little set of George Martin books, so I'm quite glad I found that one. Keeping that for myself, and it's over the side. But again, the rest of these all just heading into my variation and bundle listings, unless I can make up some nice little sets to put out on the sale on Monday. Maybe that one. We shall see. Well, another John Grisham hiding at the bottom there. Right, Tom Gates. I think I've got a couple of these stashed away in here somewhere, so I will find them. But Tom Gates, as we know, always sells well. 2 Alistair MacLean little hardcovers. I'm assuming they're like Book Club Associates because they're smaller. I could be wrong, but let's just find, yeah, Book Club Associates, BCA. So that's from 86, and BCA from 83. So I'll maybe just stick them together and see if I can get like 5-6 quid for the 2 of them. They may be worth more than that, but I'm guessing that's probably going to be their price. Coffee break. Lovely. Right, I sold a Celtic book this morning, and when I was out I found a wee bundle of Celtic football books, so I thought, oh, let's just grab them and see if I can put them in as a wee lot for a tenner or something. So the George Connolly story, never heard of him, I've got to say. You Are My Larson, everyone's heard of. Everyone who's a Celtic fan or has anything to do with Old Firm knows who Henrik Larsson is. I paid £5.95 for this when it came out, and over the story of Seville. So that's when a bunch of gadgies went and invaded Seville. So the 3 of them, like I say, I'll stick them up, may get a tenner, we'll just have to wait and see. Right, last bag. Again, there's nothing hugely interesting in this lot, I've got to be honest. We've got a Where's Wally, so that gets added to my existing listing, and then a lot of bread and butter. So Michael Connolly, I'll come back to these dudes. More Michael Connolly. Katie Flynn, Dilly Court, Katie Flynn. Oh, there's another Tom Gates, so we'll put that with the last one. There we go, we've got more Katie Flynn, a wee Anne Cleeves, more Liz Pichon, Tom Gates, bit of Chris Ryan. What have we got here? 3 James Pattersons. So these are all just to get added to the big listings I've got. They are very much the old bread and butter. Not many steak and cake in this lot at all today. There we go, there's another one just for the added to my Peter Robinson listing. And then I think we've got, I just pick these up until I've got a set and then list them as a set. So I've got like 4 part completed sets at the moment, so that'll add to one of them, I hope. We've got, oh, there's another Roald Dahl, move him out the way, and then a bunch of Dav Pilkey Captain Underpants books. Again, these sell really well. You can sell them as a bundle, sell them separately, sell them how you want, but they do sell. Not big money, but they're good sellers, and that's kind of the main thing there. And then at the end we've got, let's just turn them all around, the remainder of the Mills and Boons type books. So another few stacks of those. So I'll be going through, we've got medical romance, we've got all sorts. I'll maybe split them up by author or by type, I don't know, but I'll see what I can create bundles wise for that and see how they sell. Never bothered with Mills and Boons before, but I'm kind of curious to see just how they go. So yeah, let's just bring you up. That's it. Thought I'd share that haul. No steak and cake really in there, just a couple of books that might be worth a wee bit more. Some of this will get added to the Monday sale, but it's going to be pretty few and far between from that point of view. So let's get back to the rest of it. So we'll work with what we've got. Anyway, that is all for today. What we've got, we've been, yeah, let's see, lots of stacks and piles, bits and pieces for the sale on Monday. I'm just getting them organised a wee bit at a time. But I do have a lot of nice big bundles of stuff to share with y'all that you might actually like. And I'm taking a few, just a few, off the shelves of stuff that I've had listed myself and that there's been a reasonable amount of interest in. Obviously they haven't sold yet because that's how I would be able to do it, but I haven't decided exactly which titles and how many, because that'll depend on what I can pick up today and maybe on Sunday for a last wee effort to grab some bits and pieces. But I want to have just a few more of the special edition signed type titles in the mix, although I do have a few of them already. I've got 4 signed books I've picked up in the last few days. So we've got A Pattern of Secrets by Lindsay Littleson. I haven't done any comps in these, so I really don't know, but that one's signed by the author. We've got The Bird Singers by Eve Wersocky Morris, again signed by the author. And these are all in cracking condition. They've not been read, they've just been shelved. We've got Chris Brookmyre's Fallen Angel. I've not read Chris Brookmyre since he became Chris Brookmyre. I liked him when he was Christopher Brookmyre, and he wrote really funny stuff that was set all around the Glasgow that I know and I grew up in. In fact, one book, I'm lying in the bath, right? This is in Cartside Street in the south side, Battlefield in Glasgow. I'm lying in the bath reading a Christopher Brookmyre book, and suddenly the protagonist gets chased over the bridge at the end of my street and comes running up my street, and halfway up the street somebody's shooting at him and the bullet was zipping through a first floor window. I'm on the first floor on that street, about halfway up. It was a wee bit weird that I was lying there reading this book, lounging in the bath. That's terrible. This is a long time ago, by the way, 20 plus years. But they were running up my street past my house as I was reading about it. I always really like that. So anyway, I signed Chris Brookmyre and I signed Peter James. So they're not spectacular. All of these get a wee bit of that big scribble on it, a wee bit extra value over the normal prices of the books that you would get. Like I say, I haven't comped the 2 paperbacks, but with the hardcovers, you get a wee bit more out of Brookmyre. To Jim, Chris Brookmyre. I'm showing that to myself and not to you guys. See, to Jim. So there's a Jim out there who wants a book that Christopher Brookmyre signed for him, for you, Jim. This one has got your name written all over it. Yeah, that's there. And the to Jim means that it was one that he actually signed himself, rather than, you know, just randomly scribbling through a whole load of pages and getting them stacked up. What do the signatures look like in these two? I don't know if I've even looked at these yet. That one's a bit disappointing. Eve. So she's got a long name to write, so that'll be the easy way to do it. And what have we got here? Lindsay Littlejohn. Oh, that's nice. Keep reading. There we go. So yes, I've got 4 of those signed books ready to go, and a few more that I am picking out that I will include depending on what I can pick up today and the next day. Anyway, this was meant to be a really quick video, and we're now at like nearly 27 minutes, so I'm going to say thanks for watching. Thank you all for your congrats on reaching the 1,000 subscribers, which is great. Somebody also asked, could I make a video about hitting the 1,000 and what happens after that? See, to be honest, hitting the 1,000 with unless you're getting thousands of views a day, it doesn't mean anything. Turn on the ads and it might result in 12 pence a day. You know, it's not making any money really at all. Some of you will be well beyond 1,000 and probably have a lot more of daily views than I do, and it might be interesting to hear what impact that has, what benefits that adds to your business. YouTube is not going to make you money unless you are a Mr. Beast, you know, up at that end of it, you know, really spending a lot of time on, you know, your formatting, your editing, your production values, you know, turning it into a proper entertainment channel. YouTube's not going to make you any money. Make you a few quid here and there perhaps. I get less than 1,000 views a day typically, so you get paid per 1,000 views, if that makes sense. So I might, if I'm lucky, get 20 pence per 1,000 views, and that would be good, to be honest. So probably looking at somewhere between 10 and 20 pence a day in income from YouTube once, you know, all of that properly kicks in. But YouTube don't pay you until you've banked like 60 quid. So 60 divided by, let's see, even 20 pence a day, 60 divided by 0.2, so that's going to take nearly a year to get to the £60. You know, 3/4 of a year, maybe 8-9 months to get to 60 quid's worth of income from YouTube. So I love the idea of coming back in a month and going, wow, here's my first month monetized on YouTube. I've made millions. I might have made a couple of quid and I wouldn't have been paid it by that point, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. The subscriber count to 1,000 was more just a target and a wee bit of motivation to keep making these videos. And I spoke about motivation before, replied to comments on it. What motivates you to keep doing eBay? I need money. That's what motivates me. So it's not even motivation, it's necessity. Motivation is a luxury. Motivation is where you need to find that motivation to get yourself to do something that you do not need to do. So going to the gym to keep fit, eating healthily, you know, any of these things, you know, saving money for a nice hat, whatever, you need motivation to do that, because it's not something you need to do. Selling on eBay, I need to do it. That's my income at the moment. So that's where my motivation comes from, that, because it's not motivation, it's necessity. But making YouTube videos and doing this wee chat, I do need a bit of motivation for that, because I don't need to do this. I could just get up in the morning, spend 5 minutes picking the orders, 10 minutes wrapping them up, take them to the post office, job done. But I like talking about this stuff, and quite often talking through it leads to other thoughts. That's always how my head worked when I was out in the real world working, talking a bit through things, working through ideas. Worked on a lot of project work and continuous improvement and business development, coaching, and all of these things, put together training packages. So that always helped, you know, almost brainstorming. So this is me brainstorming essentially with you guys, and it takes my head where it needs to go to work things through and try things out, and it has been really helpful. You know, I have definitely got a lot more out of doing this over the last few months than you guys will have got from me. I can guarantee that. It's been great, some of the ideas and the comments that come from yourselves that I mentioned earlier on that just take me in the right direction. So I need motivation to keep doing the YouTube videos, because it's not something I need to do. It's not a necessity. It is an additional option. It's a luxury. So the motivation has been, right, let's get to 1,000 subscribers. So if I keep making videos, you know, several times a week, it's not quite every day, is it? But it's most days. If I keep doing that every day, then, you know, every day I can pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 subscribers a day, and that will add up till I get to 1,000. So next target is going to have to be something like 10,000. So I can plan out, it's not a plan really, but I can work out when I should get to that point based on picking up that 3 or 4 or 5 subscribers a day, and set some milestones along the way for that, which I'm not going to keep talking about all the time, but I'll know when I would expect to reach like 1,500, 2,000, 5,000, 7,500, 10,000, and I can have that mapped out so that every day I know, right, I've got to get up, make that video to make sure that I can pick up my next 3, 4, 5 subscribers and keep on target for that. So yeah, the subscriber things is not about getting monetized and making money on YouTube, because that ain't going to happen. It's to keep me motivated and making these videos all the time as it goes along. Right, enough rambling, shut up Ian, go and get on with your work, and I shall see you all later. Love you, see you, bye.